Alright, let's see how that intro page looks. Audio check 1 2. Audio check 1 2. Audio check. Audio check. Audio check. Audio check. Alright, that sounds pretty good. So let's jump in here in a sec. I'm going to send one post and we'll roll. our sound check, because it looks like our stream is just rock solid today, which is fantastic. Got those Streamlabs settings dialed in now. That's kind of a pain in the ass when you're first getting started streaming. But we gotta make sure it's holding in, because today we're gonna do a website example for my new friend in Skool. And this is gonna be pretty fucking cool, because I wanted to figure out a better way to demonstrate these, because it's one thing for me to say it like, oh, I'm making fucking AI for every aspect of my business, and people are like, cool, man, the fuck are you talking about? And by joining the Skool community, well, these tutorials actually led to the Skool community, and I made some friends in Skool, and it was kind of, you know, talked about in the training, just let's start doing this for other people and see what happens. And in that community, I came across Thrive Academy and Robbie, and she runs this kick-ass, like, you know, it's a wellness, it's fitness, it's finance, it's the right idea of where things are going. I mean, I truly believe right down the middle of the same thing, like, you're gonna have to be individually optimized in almost every aspect. And sometimes life is more than just work, it's more than fitness, more than finance, like, it's a lot of stuff, right? So how do you encompass that for well-being? And she just has that whole coaching community really set up well on the website for exactly what we can do with these AI agents. So I wanted to see, all right, I asked her, I said, can I do a demo on Thrive Academy? She said, yeah, absolutely, go for it. Robbie, if you see this, I'll make sure and send it to you before I post it anywhere. But it's going to be a really easy, user-friendly example of how we can get this done. And I say we because, I mean, it's everyone. I didn't have a full AI background. I didn't have a full tech background. Now, yeah, I did tinker with tech my entire life, and I just love tech, but really went into it pretty hard the last couple of years. But this is just going to be a video meant for everybody to be able to do. And we're going to go to her website. I can't pull her URLs because I'm not the admin, but we'll get an example. I'll do my website, and I'll do one section of it because hers is kind of set up similar. And what's important about these AI agents is you got to think about where the data is going to live. And if you go in, you can do a full website swipe, which is fantastic. But you can also, if you're going to be growing these sections individually for your AI agent like you would your business, you're going to be constantly adding to it. You want your AI to grow in those verticals with you. You don't want it to forget every day. You don't want to have to re-prompt every day. And I told Robbie I would do this from a ChatGPT example, but that would be almost just wasting a ton of time. And I mean, I'll throw some Gemini or an example like that in, but with the amount of content and stuff she already has up, in order to make these things efficient, I mean, it'd probably take, we'll see. I mean, I'll start a recording, we'll see how long it takes, but I mean, we might have this thing done under in 30 minutes. And what I try to tell people for the value of this, you know, what's different than just using Gemini? And that's a great point because they're accessible, and use the free tools where you can. And in order to make AI effective for your business and to really optimize something, it's got to remember what you do, so you don't want to have to train it every day. It's going to be like your AI assistant. But most importantly, by turning these agents into hybrids, you get some really cool data. So it would be anybody that comes to your site and engages with that agent's going to remember what they're asking about. Why does that matter? It matters because you're going to know within 24 hours what a majority of your end users are wanting or asking questions about. You're going to have that data that you can use to optimize your YouTube channel, which I did that tutorial yesterday. But then you can take those analytics and, you know, make the content about what people are talking to your agent on. It's a full cycle learning system. And I think that's what's the thing to kind of just wrap your mind around is now these AI is not going to be like a product that just is stagnant. When you make it yours, it's going to be a learning and growing process every day. And that's the full loop of it. So you're going to have your content, you're going to be doing it anyway. Like I think she posted a video yesterday on YouTube, and you can take that transcription, put it part of your knowledge base, or if it's going to be a blog post on your website, and then you can train your AI on that certain page for your website, and it's going to learn every day with you, and it's not going to forget. And we'll see how the time goes, but if it goes fairly quickly, like I think it should, we're going to jump into parameters, which, what is parameters? It just means your agent can ask your users questions. So, what's important to you on your wellness this summer? Or what are your health goals going into the fall? Do you have any fitness goals you want to achieve? Business, have you laid out a business plan for this month? So you can collect those parameters, and then your agent asks those people questions, and then you train your agent on these tutorials. It's a full cycle deal. It's tough because it's just a system and I geek out, but you're never gonna have to do it again. And a lot of people, what I try to tell people is, don't try to make your AI go out and grab people. That's up to you as a person. Have AI, which is why I significantly stress live, especially because I do work with AI. It's like, I'd rather do this live, and there's a few mentors, or at least people that I followed online that started doing this, is if you work with AI, you just have to do it live, because the rest of it is just AI, right? So prove it live. And that's the good deal about what she's doing. I mean, wellness coach, fitness, she's going to be out with a lot of people, getting a lot of content, but while doing that, you could take that live stream, get all those transcriptions, get all the content for every platform, use it for your AI, and while you're out with people, your AI is handling the shop as your expert. That learns with you and grows. That's kind of the shake of it. Like, your AI is just holding down the fort with a team of AI buddies, and you're out doing your thing, and they got your back, right? They're not meant to be the lead. They're meant to be the second row. They got your back. You don't have their back. Trying to break these down because my buddies told me to stop being such a fucking robot too. So they essentially got your back, but let's just do it and we'll go from there, because that's the easiest way to do things, okay? So let me just share my screen. We'll go to it. That is my Twitch stream. Everybody should stream on Twitch. It's gonna look like a fucking circus when you get there, of gamers and just shit, but you can use it for business a fuck ton. Just go check it out. All right, let's jump into it. So why am I doing live streaming? Well, I was doing tutorials on my web app, and it ended up being education and AI that we can get done. And I wanted to show an example of the one I did yesterday, just to show how effective and quick this can be. I did this live in, I think, 50 minutes, because another friend from Skool Games, which we'll get into, I want to introduce Thrive Academy and Skool Games. But when I was asking the community for help, what's going on with my YouTube page? What are we doing here? I got a recommendation, hey, clean it up, take a look at your YouTube page. So I was like, all right, I will. And heck yeah. So what I did was I went to my YouTube analytics and I took screenshots of them and I dropped them into Gemini. And I said, hey, Gemini, let's pump out a YouTube growth plan based on what I do. I fed it some knowledge. I said, hey, let's make a plan for my next 30 days so I can just set up and execute based on the actual data that I have, using AI to be efficient. So this is the chat agent I built yesterday. We call him Hank YouTube. Hank's just going to be our dude. We're going to roll with Hank on everything. We're going to get Hank some AI training today. It'll be the example for Thrive on how to pull your website. And Hank's going to be the lead dog for everything. We're just going to have Hank run the squad. And it's important to think about this before you get started. If you're going to be training AI agents, train them in verticals. So let me just show you live with Robbie real quick. Let me show you her website. This is how I would approach it if I was Thrive Academy, based on just the data on the website I see right now. But there's 3 or 4 main categories here. I would definitely go 4, and maybe 5 with that new school community. But what you could do, or how I would approach this, is I would have a wellness vertical where I would train these AI agents in this page. So it's going to learn how to set your goals and dreams, 5 small habits. It's going to learn everything on this page. And it's going to be that expert in that vertical. I would do the same thing for fitness, finance, and shop. Put them all in verticals, and that's going to keep your cost down 1, and then it allows those agents to work together as a team. And what's impressive about these agents is the cost is very, very minimal. For the horsepower you get out of them, it'll be cheaper than any other tool you use online. I guarantee that. And you'll get 100x out of it plus data. But let's just go ahead and check out, what Hank can do. So I trained him on my next 30-day plan. So what's up, Hank? What you doing, bro? Yes, you are. What's the first YouTube I should record for my channel? And this is just an example of what we did yesterday. The data store for bizrise.io. I'm glad this is pumping, because this is a good way to turn them on too. So let's see what we got here. Utilize YouTube analytics. So that would be our video for the day. And then we got it in here for our strategy, so we can go grab that real quick. And we're gonna get some real-time data out of that. But go play with Hank. He's day one. See if you can break him. See if you can mess him up. He's on bizrise.io. But the goal of today is to do one for Thrive Academy. And we're going to go check that out on Skool Games. So let's get to the beginning. And then I just kind of bullshit a little bit, check my stream, and then we'll get it going with the recording, because when you record these in Streamlabs desktop, you're going to get the full transcription too. So it is just an absolute one system, one shot, one kill, do everything with it. So there's Thrive Academy. We started school about the same time. You're damn right I'm number one on that leaderboard. Let's go. That is going to be my spot. Janet, you're not going to get it. Anton, that's my spot. But really cool platform, right, to do tutorials, to teach people about what you do. And it has been the number one engagement as far as community sharing, knowledge growth for small businesses, freelancers, everything like that. And it's been a great platform. So having fun with it. I'm in, I think, like day 6 or 7. So I was like, you know what? Let's do one for Thrive. Because Robbie's helped me. She's participated, commented on my posts. And that's what matters. Like, let's engage. Let's, pump each other up and go. Don't, nothing I do is going to be behind closed doors anymore, because I do most of it live. So how it works, you're going to see. And it's just going to be effective. Like, that's the funny thing about these agents. Like, it doesn't matter if other people see how to do this. Like, you better. That's the point. That's how fast it fucking moves. So let's go check out how we're going to get this done for Robbie and what we can do. Because we're just going to try and keep this tutorial simple. I got my geeking out done and out of the way, so I will move on to just actually getting it done. But what we're going to do is we'll put it in here for tomorrow's test, because we got to make sure it works. And then what we're going to do too with Hank is we'll put that YouTube video in Hank of the tutorial that we did last night, so we can show Thrive how to do it. It's just a full cycle system, baby. Let's go. Okay. I do have to monitor YouTube. Let's go into what we're going to do first. Let's just go to a Google Doc and lay it out, because what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to put these Google Docs just straight into the community, so people can use them to either, find directions, or really go to, and they might be able to use it as a data store. But I just want to lay out an outline. It's easier to see, because although Streamlabs podcast editor is recording it, you can't see it till the end. So let's start with the goal. And number one, always check your fucking audio jack. This is, okay, I do these lives and fuck them up so you don't have to, but check your audio. Make sure the mute button's off, right? Check your screen, like, don't rush through it. Make sure everything's good there. Well, let's find out, Curtis. Well, hang out and find out. Tell me if you think this is effective for a business and explained in a way for everyone to understand. I would love to hang out, Curtis. because there is haters everywhere. And if you're an expert, come on live with me, man. I would love to learn more. That is the point of the Skool community. Everybody is learning together. If you would like to jump on live and teach me for an hour, please do. I would love to pick your brain. I've been looking for people to pick their brain and ask questions and learn more. So please, as I'm cruising through this live tutorial, like say, hey man, check into this, check into that. I would love that. Let's go. All right. So, that's 100% the truth. Please, come hang out. And if this is, you have tips, shout them out. The more the merrier. All the advice. Let's go. Here's the goal. There's Robbie's Thrive Academy in Skool. I gotta hit record. And Curtis, I'm gonna be rocking through this, but I will follow up to you because I use these transcriptions for AI agents. But if you're still watching the stream, light it up, dude. Drop all the comments you can possibly drop in that YouTube. I'll check back with you later, but I got to record, so I'm not going to be bullshitting. But as I'm cruising, if you're like, no, dude, do it this way, I will. Okay? Tear it apart. Oh, that is good. All right. We got to go back to my full screen. Curtis got me all distracted. Heck yeah, Curtis is staying. Cool. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, the Twitch is on, or the chat's on YouTube. I don't know if you're on YouTube or Twitch, but the chat's on YouTube. Thanks, man. Dude, and especially, okay, I love your point, and Robbie, I'm sorry, but I gotta talk about this point. It'll just be a sec. And I don't see able to give you any advice meaningful on the data set. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to do, and that was something that I've been struggling with for a long time, is like, how do you make it effective full circle? And one, you gotta have a couple pieces. So I developed a web app called BizRise.io because it has to have a home. It has to have a place to live. And this is a business optimization dashboard, just designed to be mobile, built on Flutterflow, because I'm not an expert. But I'm learning all Dart, I promise. But with this data set, I took my YouTube analytics, took screenshots of that, made a 30-day plan for growth based on what I'm doing, and then I put it into that Vertex AI agent. So every day when I interact with it, or like if I do a video, I'll remember it. But I'm going to put in some parameters to track metrics and adjust this plan weekly, so that it's a constantly growing process, and I can put these data sets up on my website for some linking to the web app, post about it in my Skool community. And hopefully at the end of the day, the main driver of all of it is my Vertex AI agents, because I'm going to make YouTube, marketing, sales, what BizRise.io is, customer service, and have all those verticals under one boat, so that hopefully Hank can do a lot of my shit and I can operate this more mobily, because my goal was to run the entire business from my phone with a web app. I went Flutterflow, Firebase. I went Firebase because you can take some of the data input from your Flutterflow app, train that up or link that up to BigQuery. BigQuery links with Vertex AI. It's just going to be a full cycle learning system, and I can have an easy platform to access the data wherever I want, and I can monitor it on my phone with the GCP app from the terminal. So that was my best solution to making a full cycle, fully operational, fully learning AI powered web app. Those were the pieces I used to put it all together. But now how do you make that effective for other people? Well, the AI can just live on her website. She doesn't need to have a full cycle input system. Her website's great, but when it interacts with her viewers or her users, if they're asking about wellness, or if they're asking about fitness, or if they're asking about finance, she's gonna know that the next day if you turn them into hybrid agents, therefore turning out content, on YouTube or Instagram that is relevant to those users without even having to ask. It's just going to be a naturally growing process. She'll be able to scale her business, her school games, and her social media presence. So that's the long and short of it, but now I just got to do it. So that's why you got to train them in verticals. And you got to see, are you working Vertex AI? Or are you talking GPT? Let me know what you're working with. But I got to do this tutorial for Robbie. I'm not going to lose focus. We're going with Robbie and Thrive. Leave those comments as we roll, though, brother. Let me know. Let me know. I'm going to hit that record. Boom. Live to AI for Thrive Academy. Let's make complicated simple. What's the goal? We want more time and money. And we want AI to be able to do some of our job for us. We want it to remember the next day and help us grow our business. So let's start at our new school, where I first met Robbie. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Skool, it is a community of entrepreneurs, freelancers, educators that have different communities and classrooms where you can learn a ton of valuable skills to help optimize your digital presence, optimize your life. I mean, there's cooking on there. Robbie and Thrive Academy does wellness, health, fitness, finance, all around well-being, because that's what your life is. It's not just work, it's not just fitness, it's a whole deal. And I was new at Skool, and you're looking for friends, and Robbie was very supportive. We ended up talking, and I said, hey, I like what you're doing. That's really cool. I think it's important. Do you mind if I do an AI agent on your academy? And she said, great, go for it. And Robbie, I promise I'll send this to you before I put it out to anything. Check it over and let me know what you think. And an example I wanted to do for Robbie to make this effective for anyone quickly is you can base these knowledge bases off of your website. Now, my academy is called Live to AI because by using these transcriptions, you can make an AI agent, but she already has a website with a ton of content, right? She's been putting out content for a while. So let's use that as a base, and we're going to build it in verticals. Robbie will do an example on my website on just different knowledge bases, and this was my old website before BizRise.io, but it has some FAQs in there because I think back in December, Google put out a video said, get your FAQs together. And it's like, okay, so start putting up information on your website and organize what you do. You have a great website. Let's go make this effective. And everybody, if you see this, make sure you go to Thrive Academy on skool.com, SKOOL.com, and join Robbie's community. All right? Go do it. She's got a ton of cool stuff coming your way, I promise. And she makes great videos. Pro quality stuff. So what we're going to do, let's go check out our website. Let's go to the home page and see what we got going on. And this is why I'm talking, let's build these in verticals. Wellness, fitness, finance, shop. All right? Life with Robbie. All around life. That's just what you got. Love the approach, crush it all. Why not? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to figure out how we can make an AI agent that can live down here. And anybody that comes, you can be like, hey, welcome to Life with Robbie. I can assist you with wellness, fitness, or some finance tips. How can I assist you today? Her end users can talk to that agent, and she's going to know what they're talking about, every single person that goes in there. These models are trained with every conversation. It has Gemini Pro in there. We'll go Gemini Pro, not Flash. I haven't used the preview feature, but we'll check it out. But then it'll be really effective. And the great thing about this is she does a lot of content. She does transcribe the videos. So by doing what she already does, she can use those transcriptions and keep that AI agent learning and growing. As long as the data set moves, as long as it's getting input, it's going to train. So let's go check out how we do that. Like I said, I will be using my website. We'll grab some of these FAQs over here. But what we'll do first is we'll go to GCP, Thrive Academy, Live to AI. The first step we're going to do is go to GCP, which is Google Cloud Platform. And if you have no experience with GCP whatsoever, sorry, special moment there. If you've never been to GCP, just think of it like a giant computer in the sky that has more power than any one person can ever understand. And we can go use it because there's some serious horsepower available in this world. You're usually going to get a pretty dang good free trial if it's your first time signing up. And, you know, I think 2.5 token. How's that looking, Curtis? So we'll see how that's going to shake out for the biz. But let's go check out how to get into Agent Builder for Thrive. Now, when you get into GCP, don't worry. It's going to look, you know, there's going to be a lot of stuff and words you're probably not going to get the first time. But don't worry about it. They have a ton of resources online, a bunch of learning platforms. I mean, their tutorials and their step-by-step directions all online. It's a fantastic place. I try and do them live just because I think it'll save people some time based on stuff I've just messed up going through it. So for Robbie, what we would do here, just initially, we're going to make this real simple. We're going to go to Agent Builder, if I can type in text today. Okay, so you're just going to come in, select Agent Builder. And for apps, you know, we did the workout one, we did the one on small business grants that can communicate that out to, you know, small businesses that are looking for funding or answer questions better. We did our Hank YouTube, but today we're going to do Hank Thrive. And I'll change the name if, you know, let me know. Hank Thrive. I'm not trying to burn my new buddy. I just want to show you how it's done. We're going to call this, dang, what should your agent name be? I don't even know if you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can name your agent. Just drop it in the comments. I'll give it a sec. Curtis, what should we name it? What should we name our agent? Don't, Curtis, I know you're swaggy. Don't rip all my usernames and stuff, alright? What should we name it? Agent. Robbie C. Robbie Swag. Robbie Swag. You don't even know. Robbie Swag. Because, I mean, life with Robbie, you got some swag, alright? We're going Robbie Swag. That's how we're rolling it. Okay? Let's go back into our agent, Robbie Swag. Robbie C. Swag. Robbie C. Swag? Is that too long? Robbie Swag? Robbie Swag. Okay, when you're developing these agents, Vertex AI-wise, always select multi-region and global. Now, the reason is, I mean, depending on where this data is coming from or where it's being accessed or used by your end users, having that availability is going to be able to pull that data closer to their location. And I say build these agents in verticals because then they're not relying on pulling, you know, data from an entire agent for, you know, 17 things over when they only need one. So we'll get into that, but just multi-region and global just allows everybody to access your data easier. And everything I've built on Vertex AI has always been global region. Let it ride. Continue. And now we're going to create our data store. This is the best part. I mean, this is how quick you can do it. Create a data store, website content, okay? Here's all you got to do to get it fired up. So if I was doing Robbie and I wanted to grab that website, I'd be, all right, so come over here and grab wellness because I want to train them in verticals, all right? And we're just going to fire up one. Just a lot of these agents, or anytime you're working with these agents, just get it going. And we're going to make little adjustments because little adjustments go a long way, but you got to do it almost every day to keep those adjustments going downhill. It's like your workouts. If you dick around for a week and work out one day, it's not going to do anything. But if you do a little bit every day, you're going to be a lot better. And that's my simple brain working. But all you got to do is come up here and grab that URL, right? You don't even need all of it, but just copy it. We're going to come back in and we'll take a look at what you need to paste in there. So these are the sites or the pattern, your website information you would want to train that individual AI on. And all you got to do is pay attention to the syntax down here. what we're looking at is you can go on. I mean, you could pump an entire domain. Just boom. Learn my whole website. I want an agent. Go. You can get that up to speed by, I mean, it'd probably be a few hours tonight. But to be effective long run over time, I would recommend doing them in vertical. So what I'm going to do is put part of your site in, right? So if I want parts of the site, I just need that specific page, all right? So Life with Robbie. We're going to go wellness. Boom. Okay, just make sure you match the syntax there. So now this AI agent is specifically going to be trained on the wellness part of your business. And what that's going to allow that agent to do is be an expert in that for you, and we'll be able to direct people there for a friendly user conversation. Okay, but I don't have access to your URL, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'll go, okay, we're going to do this because it's going to be effective for Hank too. We're going to do the 10 steps to starting a business. This one I grabbed from the, I think the reference was SBA.gov, but this is based on a sports business. Now let's do something else that might not be effective. What is Vertex AI conversation? We'll do that one because that's what Hank is. Okay, so I'll copy that one. We'll come in here and just paste it in. Take that out. All right. And then what we're gonna do, make sure that syntax is right. Jacko. We'll be training it on nothing. Okay. Good, good. We're gonna click continue. Data store name, Hank. Hank conversation. And we're just gonna click create. Now what that's gonna do is gonna start registering, all right, I need to go learn your website. It's gonna go take off and start learning your website. When you get that data store and it drops you back on this page, now we gotta link it to Hank YouTube. Okay, so we're gonna click create. And what that's gonna do should spin up that agent to data store connection, and then we can make one more link and we'll go turn it into a hybrid. So Hank conversation, here's our new data store. Let's make sure, let's go check out. All right, we're gonna go read it. We're gonna go learn it. We're gonna index it in progress. Make sure that's green. You just wanna make sure that data store's training before you go start actually building your app, because you wanna come back and do it again. Although you can, but let's click on apps up here and we'll go check out how we can get into our agent. And we need Robbie Swag. What is up, Robbie Swag? Okay, now we are in our Dialogflow CX console. It's Dialogflow CX is just how you customize your AI agent to be better in conversations with your users. Now, before we get rocking and rolling and I just start slanging intents everywhere, one thing to keep in mind is there's two decisions that are going to make your life a lot easier before you get started. One, do you want your agent open already and welcoming your users when they come to your website? If you do, we can jump into the code on export, which you can just put in a custom intent, and so basically when people come to the website, it's going to open up and welcome you. So that would be like an example of that would be Hank. So, or the welcome page for BizRise.io. That one opens automatically, and it is saying something when I click on that. So when you click on this, it's going to open automatically and have that welcome message there, like we did when we came in. So that's something you got to decide on. That's user preference, depending on what you want. Some people want them closed, some people want them open, but think about that. And then the other thing you got to think about is route groups. Because one thing I do not like about chat agents is if you say, I want to go to customer service, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. How can I do it? And it's like, I don't like getting stuck in chatbots. And so you gotta think about route groups like an ADD person who is just having a ball with your chat agent. Like, all right, I want to talk about the YouTube plan. Oh, can you tell me about wellness? And then, oh, can you tell me about banking? And then, oh, can we go back into Vertex AI? Like, you have to be able to make those transitions smoothly. And going through at least development with this, there's 2 route groups. There's agent level and flow level route groups. Flow level is basically, hey, if we're talking about YouTube, let's talk about YouTube. You can move in and out. Or agent level is just you can go wherever you want. I've just traditionally put them all on agent level because I've done agent level and flow level. But it's like, why am I just doing flow level for the same amount of work and do agent level, and it's going to go everywhere anyway? Now, it's kind of a tedious process depending on how many flows you get, but it makes it really easy to transition everywhere. And the best thing about these is you can either use your transcriptions or your content, all that stuff from it is going to lay that foundation for your agent, so it's going to sound like you as well, which is actually, a little bit beneficial. Now, it's not going to mirror you exactly. I mean, I've tried to get one to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin, but hey, can't win them all. So route groups, just think about that because you're going to have to be able to move in between wellness and even inside wellness. Wellness is, mentality, health, hydration, all this stuff that your life encompasses. So just think about route groups, and you want to have like your website, it would be, you're going to have wellness. That's going to be a flow. Fitness is going to be a flow. So you're going to have like little pods everywhere. And that'll kind of help start thinking about it, but we just want to be able to move in and out of there. So agent level route groups, we want to know if it's open or closed when we start. All right. But what we know so far is we've started training our agent on at least one flow. And what we're going to do is let's come in here. When we first get into Dialogflow CX, in order to make this a hybrid, we got to check out some settings first. And what I'm going to do here is I'll also put in that YouTube video I did yesterday to show you how to do some custom fulfillment. So like we're going to do wellness, we'll just like run into that wellness flow, and then I'll put in a YouTube video for an example, but it'll just be basically how you can get that done. But let's go make sure we have some settings on before we get rolling on anything. A couple I always do: enable cloud logging. You want to enable that conversation history, intent suggestions, but we're going to be creating our own, and user feedback. Now you can do BigQuery, which is the essentially just giant warehouse of data storage and analytics features that'll blow your mind, but I love BigQuery. But essentially what you can do is you can have that data set there. That's why I linked it up with my web app and Firestore, so it's a full cycle system. But that's not important if you're not going to be doing heavy data analytics. This is going to give you a ton as it is. And what we'll do is we'll go into ML. And here's something in GCP. Always click this save button. Don't do the keyboard shortcut. But we'll come into ML, get that machine learning. Curtis, I hope you're still watching. Come on, brother. Make some comments. So click save there. Tell me what you think about all this. And go into your generative AI, because what we can do here is you can protect phrases. So like if I didn't want my AI agent to say something, I could put it in here. So for example, Tom Brady is the best QB of all time. I don't want my agent to say that. I'm a Broncos fan, okay? I don't want my agent pumping up Tom Brady. Got to realize these do have Gemini, so they're going to be able to go outside of your data set. But your data set's like the guide rails or the bumper rails in bowling. But it'll be the lead dog. So let's go over and make sure we save that. We do not want to forget that. Generative fallback. Let's use the example template. This is a way to kind of set it up on those guide rails really easy. You just go edit, Rob A. Swag. So it just says you are a friendly AI assistant for Thrive Academy. That helps your users with the chat. In particular, you can route descriptions. And we're scratching the surface of Dialogflow CX, but it's basically just introducing it and leave it as is. The user says hello and you say hi. Don't necessarily think about, you can put in more parameters and stuff like that in here, but this one kind of just gets it going, and then we'll let your data store kind of take the lead from there. And we'll fill out another part right after this, but click save on that. Then where you're gonna go is to your data store. Now with your data store, that was the one we just did on wellness, and it's a good way to give it rails, but we don't have to do just wellness here. So we're gonna name our agent Robbie Swag. Robbie Swag, agent identity, and if you don't know like where this is going, you just kind of play with it down here, you'll see it, and that'll be that sentence that you're editing. But your name is Robbie Swag, and you are a helpful and polite AI assistant. So we'll say wellness, well, life with Robbie should be all encompassing. Let's go life coach. So life, you are, how am I going to say this way? Polite, AI powered life coach and expert in wellness, fitness, and finance. Company name, Robbie C. Is it Life with Robbie? Is that your lead? Probably Life with Robbie, huh? I mean, this is what's going to be living. Life with Robbie. We can always go back in and change this too, which is a great deal. Like, it's not set in stone, you just come edit it. Let's see if we got an about we can take. Let's go home. What can we put exactly? Let's just go. Your job, Life with Robbie, a life coach and expert. Okay, let's take this. Okay, we're gonna take that section. Life with Robbie. Making an impact in the world of mine. Okay. Boom. We're just gonna shorten it up. Leave it as is. Making an impact in the world of mindfulness, wellness, and finance. Your task is to assist humans as the customer service agent for Life with Robbie on wellness, fitness, and finance. Okay. Boom. And what we're going to do is we're going to engage Gemini Pro. Boom. Oh, I know. Made it too long. How's that? You like that? Cool. So now we have our agent engaged, right? And it's going to be learning this consistently as we go, which is nice, but we'll learn how to deploy it and everything. But now we have all that in. I mean, you can come in here and do a ton, right? Speech to text. These can be used to transfer over to call centers to help people initially like have an idea of what's coming in. But for what you got going on, life is good. Life is good. Now let's go into, I mean, you can put it in different languages. Whatever you need there. So let's just go in to build this puppy so we can make it effective for you. So if I want to have my agent, or if I want to have my users be able to talk about wellness, like we did there with our data store, how are we going to do that? Well, we got to come in here and we got to create an intent. So it'd be like, what am I trying to talk about? I'd like to ask you about wellness. Okay, we got to tell our AI they're asking about wellness. So we're going to create an intent. The first thing we do, we'll just put in wellness. Don't mind me talking and spelling at the same time. I am terrible at it. And the one thing we're going to do is we're just going to put in wellness here. Because what we don't want is to put in 500 of these on the first day and then you have to go back and retrain it. That's almost impossible. And just little bites at a time. So put in one example for an intent and we're going to click save. Okay, we have our intent there. Now we got to give it an entity type. And what's an entity type? It'd be like, all right, well, I'm trying to ask you about wellness. I got to my agent has to identify a way to know that I'm asking about wellness. So it doesn't know what wellness is yet. You got to tell it this is wellness, and then it'll be able to identify, okay, they're asking about wellness. You got to teach it what wellness is first, or just show it what wellness is, just the word. And then you'll kind of get the idea, but it's got to say wellness, like, oh, now I know what that is. Okay, what are they talking about? But same thing, you just come into create and we'll go wellness. And don't worry about overlapping entities. You can use wellness in, if it was wellness or fitness wellness or diet wellness, you can use it in different areas. It'd be okay. But just click save there. So now we have that entity, right? What we got to do is we got to give it some reference values. So just give it an example, wellness, and then life wellness. Okay. Just add those in. So now it has some examples. And all we got to do is connect those dots and make sure, okay, I know what wellness is now. So we're going to come back to our intent, click on wellness there. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight this down here. We just created this, right? This entity. So now we can tell our agent, okay, they're asking about wellness. So what you can do, you got to give it a few more examples. What is wellness? Okay. Wellness info. And what you can see is it's starting to identify, okay, they're talking about wellness. And what that's going to do is help us route in the right direction so they get that wellness info. Okay, so we're going to click save there. Now we're going to come out to our build tab. So we have our intent and our entity built. Let's go out to our build tab and see where we can roll with this. Now the best thing, or the way I try to explain this to people, would be like the farm I used to work at. When we were going to water a field, there were different fields, right? But I'm talking about the ones where you got the long tube on the ground, a bunch of rows going down it, and you want to make the water go down each row. But how are you going to do that? Well, there was two ways, right? Either you can spend an entire day digging a trench, going 6 different directions, or you can move a little rock, just a little adjustment, and it would flow the right way. Just try and do those little adjustments on these agents. We're just going to pretend, because this is how I think about it. I hope this translates. I can try and come up with something if people don't like it, but think about this as the gate from the canal where your water would be coming in. This would be the canal up here. Canal's up top. Water's coming in this way. And if our users, if it's coming in and we want to make it flow to the wellness field, we got to give it a route. We got to make that flow go over to the wellness field. So we're going to come in here and we're going to add a flow. And we're just going to name it wellness. Boom. And we added our flow there, but nothing came out on our farm. Why is that? Oh, we got to go open the gate to let the water go to it. Everything's still closed. So let's go open the gate, go over there, and what we're going to do is we need to give it a route for the water to flow to. And so let's go open that gate. You can give it a description. This route is for users who ask about wellness. Boom. Now we got to tell it we're going to the wellness field. So select that intent. And we're going to go into the new flow we built, wellness. And you can click save. And that's actually the long route to doing it. But now what we'll see is we have our start page going to the wellness flow. All right. Now when we get in there, what you can do is you can start, it's the same process, right? Where do you need to go next? But let's say on wellness, for example, let's go grab set goals. Set goals and achieve dreams, okay? So what we're going to do there is we're going to need to take it into that individual page, right? Because then you can have agent responses from this whole article. You can have your video from how to set goals be in this page, right? So if we want them, I want to read how to set goals and I ask your agent about that, how do I get this stuff to come up there? Okay, let's go do it again. So now we're in the start page though of our wellness field, right? So we have canal coming into our wellness field. I'm trying to learn about wellness and I want to learn from your agent about how to set goals and achieve your dreams. Awesome, let's do it. So in our wellness flow, we're going to need to be able to go to set goals and achieve dreams. So let's go do an intent. Let's create another one. We'll go set goals. And just one training phrase, set goals. Save it, go to your entity, create it, set goals. Excuse me. And we're gonna add an entity example down here, set goals, goals, set powerful goals. Okay, give it a few examples. Save it again. Let's give that intent the knowledge that we're asking about goals. I want to know about goals. That's how we do it. Goals. Set powerful goals. Oh, not foals. No spelling there, bud. Get out of there. Set powerful goals. And the nice thing about GCP is everything you can edit. You can take these and you can move them around, right? Easy money. Okay, we're going to save that. We know we got set goals and wellness. Okay, so let's go back into our flow. We're going to be at the top. We got a route going into wellness. Now what we can do is if you want your agent to stop and address people at that wellness page, because based on how to set goals and achieve your dreams, we got 5 small habits, 10 best ways. This is going to be going a few different directions depending on where they want to go, because wellness encompasses a lot. It does. So how are we going to be able to handle that? And what I would recommend there would be come into this wellness flow, and what we can do is we can add a route here, and what we can do is we're going to go to set goals. Okay. And you can, at this point, let's go back into here, on your start page, because we're going there, right? And let's say your agent recognizes somebody's asking about wellness. You can pause that conversation or almost respond to them to kind of mirror, what they're asking about, and say, okay, wellness encompasses a lot. The mirroring of an agent when they're asking a question kind of gives people that more comfortability. It'll stop them right in the, you're going to wellness. I understand that. What part would you understand? So you could say wellness is a full circle. No, I don't want to say full circle. Wellness is the key to happy. No. Robbie C, what should I say about wellness? So I know you have some pretty cool intros on YouTube that are good, like one-liner grabbers. Let's just go with this. Wellness creates happiness. I can assist. And this is kind of the way to set it up to give them options and kind of keep them engaged. Like, don't leave it open-ended, but give them some options really when you're getting into that flow to kind of lead that conversation. So wellness creates happiness. I can assist you with setting goals, habits that change my life, or how to make money online. So let's go with that. I can assist with setting goals, habits that changed my life, or how to make money online. Well, let's go with this. So we want to leave it open for how much stuff you got there. Habits to change my life, how to make money online, and more. What would you like to know about? Okay, so now we kind of have that breakup. It's going to go right from that default start flow where you open the gate to go to the wellness field. They're asking about wellness. Now we're going to have our agent respond, okay, I recognize you're talking about wellness. What part of wellness would you like to talk about? That way I can get you the correct information that you need. Okay, so we'll click save there. Route saves. Ooh, save. Every time, save. But now let's go into our wellness page because we want to go to setting goals, right? So they're in the wellness tab. Let's test out that work real quick. You can always come in and test what your agent's doing. Say hello. And this will give you an idea of where it's going, right? So it came into the default start flow. It said, how are you? Now we're gonna say wellness. We're gonna make it go to that wellness flow. Okay, so now that's the part where the agent's breaking up the conversation. Wellness creates happiness. And so now we're gonna be at that wellness flow. So we know we're going the right way. We know we stopped at wellness. Now we can go any direction, whether that would be set goals and achieve your dreams, habits to change your life. So we can get going on that. But what you can do there, so we'll go into that wellness flow, start page, and we gotta open that gate to go to the goals. You know, set goals, achieve dreams. We gotta get the water there. Okay, so what we're gonna do this the easy way, just set goals. We're not gonna stop it on the way there. And we are gonna do a new page. Okay, so we'll just say new page, set goals. Save it. And then this is where it's going to be how we kind of jump around and we can make this really, natural language sounding, and they get better over time and depending on how you set them up. But this is where route groups is going to come in handy because now we're going to start putting in what the agent says back to them. Okay, so description here, this page contains agent responses for wellness. I got my puppy jumping on my green screen back here. She tries to lay on it all the time. And she's the sweetest little girl, but if the green screen bounces, hey, welcome to my house. All right. But, sorry, a little sidebar there, but let's put that description in there. And then the fulfillment. This is where we're going to start getting fancy. Okay. And we did a whole wellness data store, which is your entire agent based on it. But for example, like if you wanted to come in and get that data store on how to set goals and achieve your dreams, specifically to that page, okay, you grab that URL and you can come in to Cookie. Come on, boo-boo. Come on. Oh, no. You can't jump on that, boo-boo. You're too big. No, baby. No. Come in. I know. Lay on my feet, baby. Come on. I know you're sweet. I know. You're pretty. Come on. Okay, where were we? This is where we got this is where we got to get into how we can get your agent and your responses back that way. So what we're going to do here is we're going to talk about some fulfillment. We can do a lot here. This is where we're going to put that YouTube video. And we're going to add a state handler, which is, hey, we need to have that data store come in, all right? So in order to do that, if I wanted to train this specific page on your website, this would be your website plus Gemini, all right? Point Gemini in the right direction. And just trying to chew up my cords now. What we can do is we're going to add a data store. So that initial data store you created your agent on is the way to jumpstart it. And then you can put more in there. We can go create a data store. So that would be your website. You select that. Make sure you have that URL. Website content. Sites to include. Oh. Get your URL. Boom. We're going to go back here. We put it in. Graphic Robbie. Syntax good. Star at the end. Okay, now we're training that specific page on that an individual post that you could create doing it live, streaming, getting the transcription, short form content, long form content. Although your editing might not be the best for that application, you do a little bit more high quality stuff. So I don't know if pulling a direct stream would be up to that level of quality, but you can if you need to put out a ton of content in a hurry. But that way that page now will be an expert on that individual page for your business. Okay, let's go back in I'm gonna hit cancel because I don't have access to that, but that's how you would add that in there. So for our website, I mean, we just have that one page we already did and trained on, so we'll put it in there. And then what you can do, I mean, it's up to you. I'd recommend just putting in a few of these edit fulfillments. This will be like, this will be your agent talking back to him. Let's set error. Goals are important to keep our focus and drive to a better life. I can assist with setting some goals or providing, so we want it to go achieving dreams too, or providing information on achieving, i.e. boy, achieving your dreams. How can I assist you? Okay. And that's just going to give us that response right there, but that'll give us an example of how we would need to pull out and go to achieve dreams. Okay, so we're going to click save there, and what we're going to do is we're going to test it. Let's see if we can get down into that set goals flow, because we're going to go wellness and then set goals. So we'll test it from the default start flow, start page, what up? And look at this, we already have Gemini kicking in ahead of time, so these things take off quicker than you think. But this little star will indicate now we're going Gemini. So now my data source kicked in. I hope it doesn't cross it up, but we'll see. The data source in the AI usually is done before the development of the agent, but wellness, which that happened last night too. Okay, so now we're going into our wellness and we're at the start page, right? Now we need to go to set goals. Set goals. Okay, so now we're into the set goals page. Boom. We came down here, we're into our set goals, and now we're talking to them. But if we need to go achieve dreams, and this will demonstrate route groups too, we got to do same thing, right? Intent. Let's create one. Achieve. Dot dreams. Achieve dreams. Boom. Cancel. Add it. Dreams. Which, you'll be alright. Because chase your dreams, achieve your dreams, there's going to be a lot of that, so that'll be okay. We'll go entity types, we'll create another one. Achieve dreams. And let's go achieve dreams. Dreams. Okay, so now we're going to be able to identify that as well. We're going to create that same thing. Go back into our build tab. We need to be in this wellness flow. We have set goals. Now we need to go achieve dreams. Same thing, achieve dreams. Boom, we got that. We need an achieve dreams page, so let's just make it down here. And new page. Achieve dreams. Boom. Save it. Okay, let's go check out what we got here. So now when we come into wellness, we can go set goals, achieve dreams. But what if we want them to kind of link up? All right, now we're talking route groups, all right? How are we going to do that? Well, we need to come in and create route groups, although you can jump in and go, all right, we need to create a route here and go into achieve dreams. But this will be a good way to show everybody how to create a route group agent level. So even if you're in set goals and you need to pull out to go to Vertex AI conversation, just completely opposite of the map, we can do that. So under the manage tab, we're going to create a route group. We are going to go agent level. We're going to create a new one. The name will be set goals. Save that. Now we got to give it a route, the intent. So we are in set goals. Now we need to route it to achieve dreams. We got to go set goals because that's just going to line up. We won't cross it over. We don't need to say anything. I don't want to disrupt the conversation and block it off. I'm just going to go straight there. And we need to go into the page of set goals. Okay? Okay. So we can't go agent level into a page, but we can go into that flow. Really? Wellness. But here's the thing about it too. Now we put that agent blocker, right, in that wellness flow. Now if we want to remove that, and we can go, because it'll take straight to that wellness flow, recognize the intent of set goals, so we can go that route as well. But we'll just go to the wellness flow, save that there. Okay, and we want to do achieve dreams, right? So let's go add route. Oh, I'm sorry, we're going to create another agent level route group. Achieve dreams. Click save there. Now we got to give it a route. And I'm routing it to itself right now, which necessarily you're not going to have to do because you're already in itself, right? But we're going to get it to the other ones as well. So flow here, same thing, wellness flow, because if it recognizes that, we want it to come back. But if we're in like achieve dreams, we want to go to set goals. Let's just grab it, set goals. We want to go over there. I wonder if we can link it there. I don't think we'll be able to, but see what it says. Yeah, you got to go to that flow. Okay, so we'll go to the flow. We're going to the wellness field. They're not too far away. Boom, we got you there. And then we need to add the achieve dreams and set goals, right? So we got to add that route. Boom. Shamalama ding dong. And we're going to the wellness flow. Save it. Okay, build tab. Now we got to hook them up. Set goals, give them a route. We got to add a state handler because my route groups aren't in there. We got to give that route group the ability to function. So we're going to go route groups, flow level, so that one agent level, route group, achieve dreams, save it there. And then we can go here, route groups, apply. We're going to put this on set goals on the agent level. Now they're going right next to each other. We're going to do just a page level route as well, but this will be able to pull it. It basically gives you that functionality across the board. And when you're setting up agent level route groups, the best thing I found is just give every single one to every single place. You don't want it to have a spot where it doesn't connect. It's a little bit tedious in that aspect, but you can do a lot with it. We got set goals and achieve dreams. You're already in set goals. We don't need you. And then this one, what we got here, set goals. Okay, like I was saying, you don't need to route it to itself, but you can take it out there, and now we're good to go. Now in order to hook these two up, I can go routes here, intent, achieve dreams, do a page, achieve dreams. We're going to save that there. I routed it to itself, my bad. We're gonna go set goals. Boom. Okay. And so now let's take a look at what that looks like. Routes to page, set goals. All right, so now we can go in between achieve goals and set dreams. You gotta link it back this way, right? So let's give that a route on. I got it all set up. So now we got to go back to achieve dreams. So let's grab a route, which would be our set goals. And we want to go to that page. Oh, Zumba. Let's go grab that page. We're going to take it into set goals. Okay. Boom. Oh, I did it again, huh? Achieve dreams. I do it always backwards. Okay. Save it. Oh, my goodness. I am backwards today. Routes. Are we on the wrong page? No. You out there yet? Okay. Now we can see they're going back and forth, so they can talk back and forth. And an important thing to do every time when you're doing this is make sure you're, when you add a state handler, event handlers, you want to add a default negative intent. So if it doesn't match up to it, they don't get stuck. What we're going to do is no input default. We're going to add that one, and we're going to add no match default. That way, if nothing matches to what they're talking about, you can default it to Gemini and have it say, all right, generators, right? All right, so go to my data store, go to my website, let the AI take over. If you have a health, fitness and wellness, you're not going to be able to ask questions about Ninja Turtles. You might, but it's not designed for it, so enable that generative fallback to kind of handle that. All right, that's not really what we're doing here. I mean, as much as I could design a Ninja Turtle workout, we don't have any today. How can I help you? And Gemini does a really good job at that. And you can also route them. If it doesn't have, what they've been asking about, you can send them back to the top. And Gemini will kind of take over based on your data store. All right, so now we essentially got a setup going. It's going to look like a little bit of a mess in there, but why is that important? Why is that going to matter to you? Well, now we got to test it out, because what you're going to have to do is, because we have those intents and those entities in there, that's what's going to give you what your customers are talking about. But in order to engage that, we got to come create a new version. So with our versions over here, what we're going to do, we're just going to create one of the default start flow, and this is going to be saying, hey, you made your changes, you fired it up. This is just kind of keeping track of what we got going on. This is our first day firing it up. Okay, let's give our wellness flow version 2. We made changes to that, and this is where you can keep notes on what you do. Started flow. Okay. Then what we're going to do is come into environments here, and we're going to create one. We'll go Robbie Swag. And this is where I'm going to put my V1.1 in. So I'm just getting it fired up. I want to train them on V1.1. So we're good to go there. And we're going to click save. Now, I don't know if I gave those first 2 versions enough time to spool up, but we can always check up here. No, okay, I got to wait a second. You want to make sure your versions are done. You can come in here and check, but that's going to be training. Okay, good to go. And we got to check wellness. Okay, give that time to spin up. Let the spinny wheel spin, jack. Okay, environments, come in here. Click create, same thing, Robbie Swag. Boom. V1.1. Okay, we're going to save that there. Now what we got to check is we got to make sure that's good to go. So we got our notification. Okay, we're good here, we're good here. Let's click on it. Everything's looking all right. Let's enable these. We want to enable that continuous test. Give it some time, you'll see a notification. Okay, boom. Enable test. All right, cool. So we should be good to do a quick deploy and see at least what that functions like. But one thing I want to do is show you how to put a YouTube video in, because you do a lot of YouTube videos. So check this out. If we go into set goals, what that's going to be in is our fulfillment, and we're going to want to add a dialogue option. So now what we're going to do is we need to go a custom payload. What that means is just, hey, we're going to give it the right letters and brackets to put your YouTube video URL in and light it up. Just a little snippet of code, but we're going to put it right in, no big deal. Custom payload. Okay, but where do we know where to get this? And I'll put this link in the Skool community. But what I usually Google to find the right page is dialog flow, CX, custom, HTML. This, yeah, okay. It's not under the HTML, but it gets us to the right page. But what we're looking for is messenger fulfillment, okay? Fulfillment. And we're going to come down here. This is all publicly accessible. We're going to find where our YouTube video is, because we want to put our YouTube video there. Boom, video response. We're going to copy this puppy. Code sample. Boom. Let's go into our agent. We're going to put that code sample right there. And I got to go to my YouTube channel. Oh, that's us going live. Go to our channel here, and what did I do last night? Yeah, there's the growth agent. So we'll get that link. Take this over, get back into our agent, just paste that URL there. Wow. Save it in. So now when we say set goals, that video of my YouTube growth channel should pop up. Let's see if we can get to that again. Let's go wellness. Just double check before we deploy it. And I'm gonna put it, see if we get a custom payload here. Yeah, all right, so there's our YouTube video. I'm going to deploy this. Where am I gonna deploy this for people to see? Well, let's do, what am I doing on the recording? Getting close to the time limit, but we can make it. If you're doing these live streams and you're gonna use them